continued to talk about men, I looked around the club. I'd never been in Hooligans when it was this busy, and I'd never been to a ladies-only night. There was a lot to think about. The staff, for example. We'd paid our cover charge to a very buxom young woman with webs between her fingers. She'd flashed me a smile when she caught me staring, but my friends hadn't given her a second glance. After we'd passed through the inner door, we were ushered to our seats by an elf named Bellanos, whom I'd last seen offering me the head of my enemy, literally. None of my friends seemed to notice anything different about Bellanos either, but he didn't look like a regular man to me. His head of auburn hair was smooth and pout-like, his far-apart eyes were slanting and dark, his freckles were larger than human freckles, and the points of his needle-sharp inch-long teeth gleamed in the dim house lights. When I'd first met Bellanos, he'd been unable to mask himself as human. Now he could.
"Enjoy, ladies,"
Bellanos had told us in his deep voice.
"We've had this table reserved for you."
He'd given me a particular smile as he turned to go back to the entrance. We were seated right by the stage. A hand-lettered sign in the middle of the tablecloth read, "Bon Temps Party." "I hope I get to thank Claude real personally," Kennedy said, with a sultry leer. She was definitely fighting with Danny, I could tell. Michelle giggled and poked Tara's shoulder. Finally, knowing Claude was a perk. "That redhead who showed us to the table thought you were cute, Sookie," Tara said uneasily. I could tell she was thinking of my full-time boyfriend and vampire husband, Eric Northman. She figured he wouldn't be too happy about a stranger ogling me. "He was just being polite because I'm Claude's cousin," I said. "Like hell. He was looking at you like you were chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream," she said. "He wanted to eat you up." I was pretty sure she was right, but maybe not in the sense she meant. Not that I could read Bellanos's mind, any more than that of any other supernatural creature, but elves are what you'd call unrestricted in their diet. I hoped Claude was keeping a close watch on the mixed bag of fae he'd accumulated here at Hooligans. Meanwhile, Tara was complaining that her hair had lost all its body during her pregnancy, and Kennedy said, "Have a conditioning session at Death by Fashion in Shreveport. Emmanuel's the best." "He cut my hair once," I said, and they all looked at me in astonishment. "You remember, when my hair got singed?" "When the bar was bombed," Kennedy said. "That was Emmanuel? Wow, Sookie, I didn't know you knew him." "A little," I said. "I thought about getting some highlights, but he left town. The shop's still open." I shrugged. "Oh, the big talent leaves the state," Holly said, and while they talked that over, I tried to arrange my rump in a comfortable position on the folding metal chair wedged between Holly and Tara. I carefully bent down to tuck my purse between my feet. As I looked around me at all the excited customers, I began to relax. Surely I could enjoy this a little bit. I'd known the club was full of displaced fae since my last visit here, after all. I was with my friends, and they were all ready to have a good time. Surely I could allow myself to have a good time with them. Claude and Dermot were my kin, and they wouldn't let anything bad happen to me, right? I managed to smile at Bellanos when he came around to light the candle on our table, and I was laughing at a dirty joke of Michelle's when a waitress hustled over to take our drink orders. My smile faded. I remembered her from my previous visit. "I'm Gift, and I'll be your server tonight," she said, just as perky as you please. Her hair was a bright blonde, and she was very pretty. But since I was part fae, due to a massive indiscretion of my grandmother's, I could see past the blonde's cute exterior. Her skin wasn't the honey tan everyone else was seeing. It was a pale, pale green. Her eyes had no pupils, or perhaps the pupils and irises were the same black. She fluttered her eyelids at me when no one else was looking. She might have two. Eyelids, that is, on each eye. I had time to notice because she bent so close to me. "Welcome, sister," she murmured in my ear, and then straightened to beam at the others. "What y'all having tonight?" she asked with a perfect Louisiana accent. "Well, Gift, I want you to know up front that most of us are in the serving business too, so we're not going to give you a hard time," Holly said. Gift twinkled back at her. "I'm so glad to hear that. Not that you gals look like a hard time anyway. I love ladies-only night." While my friends ordered their